Hey, good morning and welcome to Hump Day. Yeah, baby, the sun is out. It was almost got some rain here this morning, but the sun is out. It's going to be a wonderful day today. I hope it finds you well wherever you may be, and thanks everybody wherever you're listening, whether it's on your radio in your car, or maybe you're at work, maybe it's on your laptop, on your phones, your podcasters. We appreciate each and every one of you. Of course, the physical delivery of gold and silver. That's what we do. And as we await Jay Powell of the Federal Reserve, they're having a big press conference because they need to give you the spin. They need to try to convince us that what we know is fact actually isn't. But this is why you need to put it away. Really, there can't be a better example. There can't be a better example when you know that they have to lie to us to try to make all of this work, all this financial engineering work. Then you know we're kind of what? We're setting ourselves up. All of you know it. The lead article on allamericangold.com today, Jeffrey Gundlach, and I know I've told you guys over and over and over and over again. This guy's a billionaire. Not that matters, but other billionaires give them their money. He's now, the new anointed bond king of the world. And you need to pay attention to what he's telling you. Everything we've already talked about. We know housing's a bubble. We know Wall Street's a bubble. We know the bond market's a bubble, and he will willingly, very plainly tell you all about it. And this is what you got to get ready for. That's all. Is it horrible doom and gloom and oh no? No, it's actually the exact opposite. It's the exact opposite. This is, hey, prepare so you can take advantage. I've been telling you this all along. We need to be a lot more, you need to be heavier allocated in your hard assets right now, period. And when it crashes, right, and we get to the digital currency and all of those wonderful things, then you'll lighten up and take advantage of all the things that are on sale when it happens. Because believe me, it's going to happen. There's no doubt about it. You know it. I know it. We all know it. But we're waiting on that. Joe Biden, we got to talk about it. Man, I was thinking $1 trillion. What's wrong with me? What is wrong with me? He is announcing a $1.8 trillion family plan. Listen, the spending's not going to stop. We'll tell you about that. Copper almost hit a new all-time high. Lumber hit a new all-time high. I mean, all of these things just continuing, and all this we're hearing out of the White House is more spending. All this we're hearing out of the Treasury, the Federal Reserve, is we need more spending, and everybo's okay with a lot more inflation. Yeah, I don't think it's going to work that easy, do you? 800-951-0592, the website at allamericangold.com. Yesterday, I apologize. We are not having a function this Friday at the radio station. I apologize. I think it's going to be the following Friday, but we're lining up guests and doing those things. I spoke a little too soon, so no event this Friday. Make sure you get out to the 1360 website. More and more people out there, by the way, have figured out, hey, that's the station I want to listen to. I don't care if you're in Phoenix, Colorado, if you're in Tucson, in California, in Texas, in Florida, New York, Michigan, Ohio. It doesn't matter. Go to 1360khnc.com. It is cell phone friendly. You can listen. You know, all the cars now, right? You have the ability to plug your phone in and play whatever you want. You can stream 1360 KHNC right through your car. If you got a modern car, man, you know, the older cars, I don't think you can do that with. But you can listen anywhere in the world, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't forget our blog section. We got great bloggers writing all kinds of great articles. Make sure you check that out. The podcast section, not only all the great shows that we offer on 1360, we even have stuff that we don't play out there, murder mysteries and things of that nature. And then, of course, CBD. It's the best of the best, and it's something I encourage all of you to try it. I don't care what your issues. Maybe you're taking it for aches and pains because, like me, you're a little older, but you want to be active. Maybe you're taking it because it helps you sleep, or because it helps with your anxiety, or maybe you've got one of those touch points where, hey, man, my knee's in bad shape, or my lower back, or whatever it is. CBD, it can help you, especially what we sell, because we sell the best of the best. But yesterday, I got a good friend of mine. We call him the Silver Fox. Because, you know, he's a little older than I am, but he's a good-looking older guy. Well, you know, he's starting to, you know, show his age a little bit, and we were busting each other's chops because he takes the CBD for the aches and the pains like I do. He's not a big guy, but he likes the 3,000 milligram tincture. And I was telling him about the retinol cream. Because, you know, they're saying, hey, a lot of men take it. So he's going to do a challenge for us. It's going to be great. He's going to just do half of his face. And then we'll see. Maybe, hopefully, if he'll let me, after a couple of weeks, we'll put the picture up and let you all tell. I'm pretty excited about it. Should be hilarious. Patriot Radio News Hour. Don't touch that dial. We'll be back right after the break. 800-951-0592. So I'm pretty excited about it. Now, granted, we were bowling yesterday, so maybe we had a couple of pitchers of beer when he agreed to this. But I think it's going to be great. It's going to be a great test. You know, it's like that Seinfeld episode, you know, where Jerry's dating this girl, and in a certain light, she looks really super attractive, and then in a different lighting, she doesn't look so good, you know, like two-faced. That's what I'm hoping to see. So I'll keep you all posted, and we'll see how long if he'll do it. But I'm going to tell you right now, that ought to be a good indication as to how well this retinol cream works, because they have tested this thing. They will put their retinol cream up against anybody's out there. Oh, wait a minute. It's my buddy now. He must be listening because he just texted me. Let's see if he's going to do it or not. I want to turn him into Two-Face. Yes, he is. Okay. He says he's going to do it. So it's official. I'm going to take a before picture, and then as he goes along, I'll update you, and we'll figure out a way to get it up on the website for everybody. That's going to be awesome. Speaking of not awesome, you know, inflation, we've been talking a lot about it. Here's the next one. Ready? Chicken. You know the Chick-fil-A commercial where the cow holding up a sign says eat more chicken? Well, apparently we're eating too much chicken. Now that McDonald's and who was the other one? Was it KFC? McDonald's and KFC apparently have come out with these new chicken sandwiches. Now, I'm not saying that I'm a big consumer of chicken sandwiches, but here in Phoenix, you know, we've got Popeyes and Chick-fil-A. Why would you go anywhere else? Right? But apparently McDonald's and KFC are in it now, and they're selling so many chicken sandwiches that the chicken supply chain is now a growing problem. As the rest of the industry, as more restaurants are adding chicken sandwiches, and the chains tend to use smaller size birds. I did not know this. So apparently the problem is we don't have enough of the right type of chicken. Yes, apparently the chicken that is available is the big bird, and Sesame Street gets upset if you eat big birds, so conversely, everyone's eating the smaller birds, and get ready. More price increases headed everybody's way. It's amazing. So we're hours away from Jay Powell. But tonight, Joe Biden is going to announce even more spending. Where does it end? And remember, we had $1.9 trillion in stimulus. We've got the $2.25 trillion in infrastructure, which only $250 billion is for actual infrastructure. All the rest of it, the other $2 trillion, bunch of pork projects. This one, which I was saying $1 trillion last week. What was I thinking? I mean, 1.8 trillion is what he's going to present tonight, and talking about this one is for families. Yeah, see, we're from the government, and we're here to help you. Just know this. Right? Anytime the government's trying to come and help us, really what they're doing is, right, they're trying to help you, and at the same time, they're picking our pocket. Right? It's like a big distraction. And at the end of the day, it's always the same. They're in your back pocket. $1.8 trillion in new spending in tax credits aimed towards children, students, families, seniors, you name it. We got you. Right? Everybody and the kitchen sink is included. He's going to be announcing the package as a new sweeping spending proposal. Now remember, here's what we still don't have. We don't have the Green New Deal yet, right? We're still waiting on that one. And we don't have the latest rounds of everybody gets a check. So those are still to come. The plan, which is going to say a new vision to overhaul the U.S. economy. Essentially what they're telling us is, you know what? We've spent so much money. We've created all of this money out of thin air to the point now where you no longer can afford to live in America anymore without us helping you. I mean, really, that's really what they're saying. Hey, we've made everything so expensive that for most people, it's just not possible. I mean, really, when you think about it, when I was growing up, now I'm not gonna lie about it. We were upper middle class growing up. All the moms stayed home. Dad went to work. Mom stayed home. Credit cards. No one had a credit card in 1970. I mean, maybe I think the only credit card there was, I think it was called the Diners Club or something like that, you know, where the uber rich would have them, but no one had those. Student loan debt, it didn't exist. You could go to Harvard for like $3,000. Brand new Corvette, $3,000. Brand new house, $25,000. Fast forward to today. Now, mom and dad both work. Right? We got both of them working, and guess what? Still not enough. Still not enough. Now, all of a sudden, we need more handouts. $225 billion. I love this one. Towards high-quality child care. Right? Listen, it's only for the high-quality ones. Right? We're not going to give it out for this low quality. Yeah, okay. Sure. So $225 billion for high-quality child care, ensuring families pay only a portion of their income toward child care services. And it's going to be on a sliding scale, folks. So the poorer you are, the more money we'll give you. Now, I don't have a breakdown. I would love to know what qualifies you to get this, right? How poor do you have to be to get this high-quality child care? $225 billion to create a national comprehensive paid family and medical leave program. What? Haven't we done that like a million times already? I don't know what that means. I guess the government's going to pay you not to work in a different fashion now. $225 billion. Hey, you're having a baby. Everyone takes 10 weeks off. I don't know. I again don't know how that works, because isn't that the job of the employer to decide? But now here comes the government. $200 billion. I like this one. For universal preschool for all 3 and 4-year-olds. And this is through a partnership with the states, apparently. So we just spent $225 billion on child care. Apparently, that only covers you to you're like 2. Once you hit 3, right, we need another $200 billion for quote-unquote preschool. You know, I remember growing up, kindergarten was a half a day. And you know what? I was like 5. I wasn't the brightest kindergartner, okay? I willingly admit that. I colored outside the lines. That was plenty. You know what? Everybody I knew went to kindergarten for half a day. Now we got, hey, when you're 3 years old, you know what this is. It's glorified babysitting. Right? Hey, there's nobody home at your house right now. So I got an idea. Here, we'll create more glorified babysitters. And again, we know what you get. Think about the indoctrination. Apparently, getting you at 5 for half a day isn't enough brainwashing. No, we got to get you at 3 now. Right? $109 billion. I'm not done. $109 billion for 2 years of free community college. Now, I'm sitting there thinking, how in the heck does free community college cost less than child care by a lot? Right? We're talking about $100 billion for 2 years of free college, and yet we need $425 billion for child care. This is something, you know, I'm not opposed, but wouldn't it be better if we made the trade schools free? Because really, do you need to go to community college? No. Do we already have too many people with college educations? Yes. Do all of these companies now make a job that, let's face it, a GED would be more than enough to pull it off? Oh, you know, where's your college degree? How about free trade school? Become a plumber, an AC repair guy, right? A carpenter. These are skills that we know we need. We don't want that because we told you. Oh, no, you got to be educated. So $109 billion. What a waste. For free community college. How much you want to bet Bernie's not happy with that? $85 billion towards Pell Grants. So this is, I guess, if you're going to a 4-year school. You're going to get an increase in the maximum amount awarded by another $1,400. I don't know what the maximum is, again, for these low-income students. Man, go to trade school. I'm telling you, you'd be so much better off. $62 billion grant to increase college retention. What? $109 billion for 2 years of free community college, but then we got to spend $62 billion to increase college retention and completion rates. What are they going to do? Are they going to have pamphlets? Are they going to call you on the phone and say, hey, Schmuckatelli, I noticed you dropped out of college. Maybe you should give it another go. Again, $62 billion, $39 billion on 2 years of subsidized tuitions for families earning less than $125,000. Again, we're seeing this number a lot, aren't we? This is the new poverty level, apparently. If you were making $125,000 in 1970, man, you were like high class. Now, 2021, $125,000. This is the third piece of legislation where this is the new benchmark. Hey, if you're married and you got a family, you make less than $125,000, you need a subsidy. You need a handout. And unfortunately, the thing just keeps on going. Remember, the government can't give it to one person without taking it from somebody else. Patriot Radio News Hour. We'll be back. It's halftime. 800-951-0592. Just quickly on silver. I've got Silver Eagles up on the website. I don't know for how much longer. Massive price increase today. We're talking another $2 an ounce. I'm trying to keep it below $800. $40 an ounce, and spot silver is like 26 and a quarter. We'll see. I don't know how much longer that's going to be. My guess is they're probably going to go out of stock. We know we're waiting for the mint to go to the new design. The silver market is totally stressed out here. Supply, it's very similar to freight, right? You just demand is off the chart. There's no supply. But it just makes, we got those quarters and dimes on sale. Listen, you're talking about saving $6.50 an ounce versus a Silver Eagle right now. It's just a better buy. I know everyone likes Silver Eagles and they're new and they're shiny, but cost-wise, just a better buy. Go to that utility silver. Put the quarters away, put the dimes away. You're going to be glad that you did at 800-951-0592. We're still waiting for the Federal Reserve today and all the lies they're going to tell. But I told you yesterday, I don't think this is going to be a big down day. Normally, you see gold and silver down because they're going to tell you how great everything is. Really not happening today. Gold's unchanged. Silver's down a little bit, but nothing significant. But I wanted to point that out. If you got a little sticker shock this morning on silver, something is amiss again. There's just no inventory out there. Premiums through the roof, and they were already through the roof. So there's nothing I can do about it. It is what it is. Yes, is that super expensive? Absolutely. But that's just where we're at right now. Speaking of what's happening out there, shipping. And I'm talking about boats, right? The containers, right? If you've ever been to Oakland, right, you'll see all these containers, empty containers stacked up everywhere. I wonder if they've gotten rid of them. But here's what's happening now. All the ships are full. All the containers are full. And they're full for months. For the month of May, everything on the Trans-Pacific, right, everything coming to the U.S., is sold out There was one client who needed something loaded in May. It was extremely urgent. They were ready to pay $15,000 per container. Right now, the going rate for one container is about $5,000, which is an all-time record high. And that's if you book it out far enough in advance. Right now, you almost got to go to 2022 to get it. Here's the funny part. The cash market. If someone could find an empty container, you're looking at paying about $8,000 to $9,000. These guys were willing to pay $15,000 for May. Couldn't do it. Couldn't pull it off. And when we're talking about, the Federal Reserve wants us to believe that inflation's going to be transitory. It's not going to happen. Trans-Pacific has said, listen, we are booked. We don't expect any relief at all until maybe 2022, and that's dependent upon the government stop spending. This thing's going to last a long time. This is a cycle. I was just a kid in the 70s. So, I don't know anything about it. You read about it. You hear stories about it. And inflation and hyperinflation. I think we're going to see something a lot worse this time. Because the numbers are so much bigger. The deficits are so much larger. Think about it now. You're a family and you're making $125,000. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, houses are like $500,000. A new truck is like, I don't know, what is a new truck? 75, 80 grand, and that's if you don't get a lot of options. Right? I mean, ballpark, 100 grand. Me and my wife bought our first house in 2000 for $135,000. Now that's a somewhat loaded pickup truck today. Jeff Gundlach was out on Bloomberg yesterday, just giving such a great analysis, talking about this transitory comments coming out of the central bank, and essentially saying, he goes, they're just guessing. And of course, yesterday I told you they're lying. I guess that's a nicer word. Oh, they're guessing. They're not guessing. They already know. There's no doubt in my mind. If I know it, they have to know it. I mean, I can imagine the amount of data that they get to look at. And he put it this way. He says there's so much money printing that's been going on. Now we're getting ready for another $1.8 trillion tonight. We've seen commodity prices going up massively. Home prices in the U.S. are inflating at levels we haven't seen since the old housing boom. You know what's so funny now is more and more home builders, they won't even sell the house until it's finished. Yeah. We're not even going to give you a price until it's done because we don't know. If there's a house, if it's a lot and the lot is empty, right, the house hasn't even been started yet, it's taking like a year because they can't get the stuff. And they're worried. They don't know what it's going to cost when it finally shows up. It's not clear to me, this is Jeff Gundlach, it's not clear to me inflation is going to go back down anywhere around 2 to 2.5%. We don't know. Nobody knows. So why the hell would the Fed think they would know? Patriot Radio News Hour. We'll be back after the break. 800-951-0592. I just love it. I love when they stop cheerleading and someone comes back and says, let's just be honest. So the Bond King, if anybody knows it's this guy, talking about Jeff Gundlach, anybody knows it's him. There are plenty of indicators to suggest inflation is going to go higher, and not just on a transitory basis. Believe me, I'm seeing it everywhere. Every company. I'll give you an example today. Hasbro. Okay. That's not food related. They make games. Monopoly, Yahtzee, Hasbro. Pricing pressures through the roof. Everything's got to go higher. And he goes on, though. This is what I worry about. He notes that I don't know what's going to happen with bond yields. Okay, right? Remember now, right? We're all, the bond yields went from 0.5% to 1.7%, and everyone started freaking out. Right? And I've told you, we have problems at our auctions. People aren't showing up the way they used to. Right? The bid to covers are way down. The tails are much bigger. That's not good. Just keep it simple. Take my word for it. Not good. And he noted that it really depends on just how much manipulation the authorities, right, the central bank, is willing to do. In other words, Gundlach just said, hey, listen, they better plan on doing a whole lot more bond buying. Or bond yields need to go a lot higher. Because here's what he says. Yields are so low, well below the current rate of inflation. Like we say, the 10-year note right now, I think it's like 1.63. Okay, 1.63%. What's inflation today? If you ask all the producers, if you ask Coca-Cola, if you ask Procter & Gamble, if you ask Hasbro, they'll tell you that's about 10%, maybe more. So if 10-year notes yielding 1.6, you got a little bit of a problem, don't you? And Gundlach says all yields are negative. Now, it's not technically negative, like, Japanese bonds, like German bonds, they yield negative 0.3% or whatever it is. But he goes, for all practical purposes, they're extremely negative. And this is the part he's worrying about, and this is what I worry about. It's hard to figure who's going to buy these bonds. Because remember, the dollar, when bond yields go up, that's a bad thing. Okay, that's a bad thing. When bond yields go up, that means whoever's holding the bonds today lose money. But the dollar's supposed to go up, and since it's we sell our debt in dollars, it should offset. That's not what's happening. Right now, I just turned to the dollar. 90.8 on the dollar index. The dollar index, when bond yields were at 0.5%, was at 100. Actually got to 102. So now the dollar's falling. We've got negative yielding rates. It's a double you-know-what sandwich. And he says it's hard to see who's going to buy these bonds And we're about to see issuance like the world has never seen before. Foreigners have been selling bonds for years. And dramatically and domestically, there is so little demand. Remember, this is the bond king, not me. That there's only one place left to soak up all of these bonds. And he's talking about the Federal Reserve. And this is why you need to be a little heavier into gold and silver today. It's a simple mathematical problem. Yeah, it's got a lot of zeros, but this is like third grade math. Take out all the zeros, it's third grade math. How many bonds a year can we sell? Right? How many bonds a year can we sell? We've got a $30 trillion deficit. Now, thankfully, not all 30 trillions do at the same time. The problem is we're adding $4, $5, $6 trillion a year to this total. And now all of a sudden, we have to roll over 10 trillion, 12 trillion. 15 trillion. And if there's nobody there to buy it, or nobody will buy it at the rates we want to sell it for, we got a problem. Right? We can't have Paul Volcker's Fed this time around. We can't have a Fed's funds rate at 16%. We would instead of being $4, $5, or $6 trillion in debt, we'd be $10 trillion in debt for the year. I know it. Gundlach knows it. Now all of you know it. Patriot Radio News Hour. We'll be back. Final segment coming up. 800-951-0592. Gold is down 90 cents. We're waiting for Jay Powell. It'll be another hour or so for Jay Powell. Silver is down a dime. The Dow is mixed. The Dow Jones is down. The NASDAQ is down. The S&P is up 3. Crude oil, look out. Again, more inflation. Look out. Crude oil, $65 a barrel. They're anticipating year-over-year gasoline demand to set a new all-time record, which makes sense, right? The world was closed. Now it's not. I would not be surprised. Don't be surprised if we see oil approach $100 a barrel again. It's simple. Simple math again. This is why you need to put your gold. This is why you need to put your silver away. I don't know who's going to buy all this debt. I really don't know. All I know is everything Biden says is spend more money. I mean, that's really all he's done. Let's call it whatever. Oh, here's another bill and another one and another one. As far as I know, this is the third one. There's still at least 2 more coming. Who's going to buy them all? Your guess is as good as mine. Silver today, the best deal we've got, and it's the best deal anywhere. Rolls of silver quarters, okay, and these are U.S. government hallmark material. Pre-1965. 40 quarters. This is back when our money, still had gold. We still had silver. Well, we didn't have gold in 65, but we still had silver in the dimes, in the quarters, in the half dollars. The half dollars are expensive, but the quarters and the dimes, the quarters are $2.40 a roll. The dimes are $120 a roll. Compared to a silver eagle, now we're talking $6.50, approaching $7 less per ounce on those. 800-951-0592. Here's my fear. My fear is this little pocket that I got of them. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it's feeling like silver is going to be unobtainium again because supply and demand, economics 101. On the gold side of things, there's nothing out there. I've never seen it as bad as it's been in the last year and a half. It's happening again. I've got about 35 of those $10 Liberties, those XFAUs from yesterday at the $1,035. That's say, hey, what's the best deal we got in gold today? That's it. 800-951-0592. Add to the portfolios. Arlene is here. Brittany's here. They'll take good care of you. Tomorrow we'll find out what they have to say. We'll see what the central bank has to say. Very interesting, though, at least right now. The markets don't really think they're going to believe what Jay Powell has to say. Because normally, right, we would expect gold to be down $15 or $20 right now, right? We would expect the Dow to be up hundreds of points. I mean, think about it. The Dow's down 100-plus points, and the Biden administration just announced, hey, we're going to spend another $1.8 trillion. You know Wall Street loves that. 800-951-0592. Put some gold and silver away, and then get out to the golf course. Hit that ball around. Patriot Radio News Hour. God bless everybody. I'll be back tomorrow.